who has led every lap from pole. Big spin across the track.
Speed turn. What happened? He just lost it there.
On board with our wonderful thermal shot. Look at this. It's like a video game.
Oh, big lock up there. Liquid rubber everywhere. Yeah.
Are absolutely together on this first lap.
This is the challenge.
As they stream around, was very, very full indeed. Dive through on the inside. They're going for it, and he's done it. He's done it. He hasn't. My goodness, he hasn't. Wow.
A great sporting rivalry, and look at this. Oh, wow.
There's a terrific scrap now.
This could all end up in a very large pile of fiberglass.
Tries again at exactly the same point. Really, better be careful because he's signalling his intentions now to the leader, who will be very careful to shut the door in advance.
Down hard, coming down hard.
Spinning off of turn 4 right now. 3 cars. One of them's going to be in the gravel. MP2 of Jason Dixon takes over the top of the top. Peter Bird is going to try to slot in second. Papers side by side. Turn number 1. Great racing here. On the front straight they come. Nose to tail. Bird getting around, but he's going to be just about a half a car length shot.
Turn up the volume. Enjoy the start. There's the green flag. Here we go. Look at this. Oh!
He backs off.
Yikes. Yikes is right.
Goes right around the outside of
Nicely friendly pass.
Well, watch Peter Burke in that Formula Enterprise.
The field has come set. Turn up the volume and get ready for the start. Let's go!
And here comes our Group 4 drivers for their qualifying race. We have 16 cars in the field. These are the Wings and Slicks Formula cars. Wings and Things, we call them. Club Continental number 3 of Steve Myers from the Detroit region in his Renard did not finish yesterday, nor did Jeremy Swank in the number 72 Van Diemen Formula Continental. Starting outside of row 7, third in Club Continental is the number 21 of Steve Demeter from the Western Ohio region in his citation. The only P1 in the field is Craig Walco, car number 44 from the Central Florida region, a Toyota WSR. In row 6, fourth in Formula Continental, the 12 of Daniel Galifa from the MBR region in a Mazda USF 2000. Next to him, second in Formula X is the 8 of Thomas Metcalf from the OVR in his Formula Mazda. In row 5, third in Formula Continental, the 5 of Trevor Williams from Detroit in the Milan DP08. And the fourth place Formula Enterprises 2 car, the 70 of John Lapham MD from Detroit region. In row 4, second in Club Continental is the 07 of Craig Campbell from Indianapolis in Van Diemen, and the pole sitter in Club Continental is the 71 of Rex Gunning from the Western Ohio region, also a Van Diemen driver. Row 3 has the second place Formula Continental driver, the 45 of Chuck Moran from the Old Dominion region in Crosley, and the Formula Continental pole sitter, car 4, Kevin Fandozzi from Detroit in a Maike. In row 2, third in FE2 is Peter Burke from the 95 from the Detroit region. And the Formula X pole sitter is the 89 of Denny Sideri from the Ohio Valley region in a Griffith GR93 Super V. The top 2 in row 1 are both Formula Enterprise 2s. On the outside is Amy Hollowell in the number 37 from the Indy region. And the pole sitter, Vaughn Mishko in the number 77 out of the Land O'Lakes region. Trouble for the 07 of Craig Campbell coming into the pit lane. He's a late arrival to the grid. Let's see if he's going to try.
We have a decent clean track this time. Hey, pace car at 9.
Let's see if he's going to try to join. He is. They'll hold him down at the pit out, and he'll join after the field passes once the green flag flies. Car heads up to turn 11, and the lights should click out as they do.
Alright, lights off the safety car, Sunday qualifying race at Mid-Ohio. Here we go.
Vaughn Mishko and Amy Hollowell bringing the field around to take the start on this 10-lap or 20-minute qualifying race.
Cars in.
Cars in the pit lane. Here comes the field, waiting for the green. And there it is. The Super Super V jumps out to try to make it 3 wide into turn 1, but Amy Hollowell trying to hang tough with Vaughn Mishko through turn 1. Craig Campbell released from the pit exit. He'll try to catch up to the back of the pack. But turn 1 is clear as they head up into the keyhole turn. Mishko with a pretty good jump here at the front. Rest of the field still sorting itself out. Got some side-by-side racing for about 4th there, Rusty.
Watching that now, looks like a move there by Denny Sederi in that Formula X. Gets around Amy Hollowell to move her back to 3rd. Mishko out front right now and pulling away just a little bit, but a good race behind between Chuck Moran and his Formula Continental and Peter Berg in the FE2. They're side by side up the hill, over the top of the hill there at 8, going to the entry to turn 9 of Thunder Valley. So that's the race for 4th right now. That was side by side.
Mishko out in front as he comes to the line to complete the first of 10 laps. And there's Denny Sederi in that Super V. Amy Hollowell back to 3rd, running 2nd in FE2. Chuck Moran, the Continental leader, just behind her. Peter Berg, 3rd in FE2, is 5th. Trevor Williams, 2nd in Continental, is 6th. Kevin Fandozzi, 3rd in Continental, is 7th. Followed by Daniel Khalifa, Rex Gunning, and Steve Myers. Craig Campbell, who was late to the party, actually sets the fastest lap.
Looks like Amy Hollowell back one more spot now as Chuck Moran gets around Amy to move her back into the 4th spot. She is right now in front of Peter Berg, so still running 2nd in FE2, but dropping backwards. Yesterday she was out front there challenging for a while Mishko, but ended up finishing 2nd yesterday. But today, now it's Peter Berg closing in to try to put Amy Hollowell back to 3rd in FE2.
Mishko resets fast lap, a 27.9. His best lap yesterday was a 26.5, so in the early going here, he's already looking strong. Chuck Moran, who was very strong in the early stages of yesterday's race in the Formula Continental number 45, eventually fading to 2nd in that class in the late going yesterday. But right now, he's 3rd on the road and the quickest of the Continentals. As Rusty said, getting around Amy Hollowell to take over 3rd place. Amy and Peter Berg still 2nd and 3rd in FE2. Trevor Williams 2nd in Formula Continental with Kevin Fandozzi and Daniel Khalifa just behind him.
Now Mishko really pushing hard here, sliding the tires around and spinning up the rear end over the top of the hill here at 5. None of the other cars are doing that, but that's why he is quick by, looks like about 4 seconds faster than the other FE2s. A little quicker than that, 5 seconds. So as they come by, Peter Berg slows it down on Amy Hollowell about a half second faster on the last lap. So he's right now just looking for a way to get around and move himself up into 2nd in FE2. Coming around here, gonna mark my meter.
Everybody's setting personal bests on this last lap. Vaughn Mishko lowers the fast lap of the session at 1:27.363. almost 11 seconds out in front of Denny Sideri in the Formula X leading number 89.
Right now. In fact, Peter Burke tried to challenge Amy Hollowell at the exit of turn 6, but she moves over to make it a little more difficult for him to pass, so he's able to stay with that spot. The last lap, she was 10 quicker than Peter Burke, so he's able to stay in that second FE2 position, 4th overall.
Mishko just clicks off a 26.6, so within a tenth of his fastest lap from yesterday's race. Nice little battle between Denny Sideri and Chuck Moran. Again, in two different classes. They are the Formula X and Formula Continental leaders, respectively. Second and third, only about 6 tenths separating those two. As Rusty was saying, all over the back of Amy Hollowell, trying to move up to the outside of row 2 provisionally.
In this front group now, as Peter Burke is able to get in front of, and so has Trevor Williams. So both Peter Burke and Trevor Williams both got by Amy Hollowell. So now it's Chuck Moran, then Peter Burke, then Trevor Williams, I believe, and then Amy Hollowell in that order. So some definite changes going on here. On this lap, the pass was made by the time they got down to the end of the straightaway.
Juan Mishko all by himself, working race lap number 6. Sets quick lap of this second as he takes over the 125, so 125.9. Second lead over Denny Sideri. In yesterday's race, he margin of victory over Amy Hollowell was over 30 seconds, 38 seconds to be exact. So he's still really in a class of his own in this race group for sure.
Just a little bit. Amy Hollowell continues to fall back, not able to maintain pace with the group that went by of Peter Burke, Trevor Williams, and then you've got Sideri and Chuck Moran out in front of that. So she is dropping back just a little bit. That last lap, about almost 2 seconds slower than the two cars in front.
Mishko catching up and passing Thomas Metcalf in the number 8 Formula Mazda, running second in Formula X, to put him a lap down as Mishko continues to go quicker, a 125.8 on that last lap. And everybody improving their lap time with the exception of Thomas Metcalf in that number 8 Formula Mazda, as Denny Sideri 23 seconds behind Mishko. Still quickest of the Formula X's. Pretty substantial margin. Chuck Moran, quickest of the Formula Continentals. Trevor Williams, second in that class. Vandozzi, third.
Peter Burke for the pass now, this time on Chuck Moran. Gets around Chuck under braking at the top end of the straightaway. Just went right on by when they hit the brakes, and he begins to pull away just a little bit. But now that puts Trevor Williams right behind Chuck Moran, and that is a race for class in the Formula Continental. So some racing left to do here. We're about 3 laps remaining, but definitely some racing in class to do.
No question about it, as Denny Sederi already by, or coming by, as they are just now coming off the carousel turn. That battle we've been watching with the 95 of Peter Burke now up into third, as Rusty said. Chuck Moran still leading Formula Continental, but Trevor Williams only 3/10 behind him. That's the difference between starting on row 2 or row 3. As we're working race lap number 8. Steve Myers leading Club Continental in that number 3 over Rex Gunning.
Right behind you.
Craig Campbell, who was late to the session, therefore running a little deeper in the pack than he would ordinarily.
I'm not sure if Chuck Moran having issues or not, but this time by Trevor Williams was already by when they came into my view, and Amy Hollowell goes by under braking at the top end of the straight. But now Chuck Moran back to 6th, went from 4th to 6th on that last lap, and we have a new Formula Continental leader in Trevor Williams.
If memory serves, similar thing happened yesterday. Chuck Moran was at the sharp edge of the Formula Continental field, and then the car faded in the late stages, so I don't know if he's got an issue that costs him some lap time in the late going. But Moran's fallen all the way back to 6th after running 3rd.
It went very well.
Battle for the Club Continental lead.
F9, they're both right on your ass.
Half a second separating those two. That's the closest battle on the racetrack. As we're working race lap 9, we should see the white flag for Von Mischko as he comes into the carousel turn.
Amy Hollowell now closing up on the back, and Trevor Williams off the straightaway. Thought about a pass here at the top of the hill at 5, but not a great place to make that happen. She drops back behind, but she is looking to move herself up maybe another spot here. She is pressuring Trevor Williams to get into the 4th spot behind Peter Burke.
Von Mischko already by to see the white flag, waiting on Denny Sederi. He is in the carousel now, comfortably leading the Formula X 2-car field. Peter Burke hanging on to 2nd in FE2, then Trevor Williams leading Formula Continental. Amy Hollowell still behind him, although she sets her personal best on that last lap at a 29 flat. He's going to try to make a move on Steve Myers down into turn 1, but has to fall back in single file. But that might be a change for the lead in Club Continental. They're battling for 8th and 9th overall.
Flag is out. Checker flag is out.
Don't see any changes coming here. Amy Hollowell back just a little bit, so Sederi goes by, then Peter Burke, Trevor Williams, Amy Hollowell in that order. Amy closed in a little bit, but I don't think there's enough time to make anything happen here. Kevin Fandozzi goes by, and we're looking for Steve Myers and Rex Gunning. John, I know you've already got the checkered flag out. Mischko with the 30-second gap again, just like yesterday.
Yeah, and he set his fastest lap on the last lap of 25.1. And that's over a second, almost a second and a half quicker than his best lap in yesterday's race. Dusko looking untouchable here. Vinny Sederi already by. He'll start in row 1. Peter Burke and Trevor Williams in row 2. Amy Hollowell and Kevin Sandozi in row 3 provisional. Still waiting on Chuck Moran to come by.
That was pretty fun. Better last time here, but whatever.
Good job.
Sorry if you're good in the qualifying race.
Rex Gunning moves up into the inside of row 4. Steve Myers drops back behind him, so Gunning able to make that pass on the final lap for the Club Continental lead. Chuck Moran has still not come by, so you see a third vehicle heading out, so it looks like he may be stranded out on course somewhere.